Hi everybody, Ron Pierce, President and CEO of RSA Consulting Group, and welcome to another edition of Lobby Talk. It's been a couple weeks since we last talked to you. As you all know, last week we entered into phase 2 here in the state from a reopening standpoint. I know many of you have had some questions with regards to that, so please continue to reach out if you have questions, specifically about anything in the executive order, anything relating to capacity related issues, so please let us know. We'll obviously continue to monitor if there's additional executive orders or anything relating to phase 2 as we get ready to head into phase 3. We'll make sure that you all are updated on that. Next thing we want to talk about a little bit is the budget. As you all know, the budget goes into effect on July 1st. We're in the middle of June. What we are hearing, there's not going to be a special session. We believe the governor will probably get the budget next week from the legislature and will probably act on it pretty quick. I think what they're waiting for at this point is there's going to be a revenue estimating conference next week to kind of see where we are from a revenue standpoint, not only forecasting what's happened over the last couple months and the impacts of COVID, but more importantly, kind of moving forward. So I think depending on what those revenue estimates are, I think will determine the level of vetoes potentially that the governor and his team are going to recommend and ultimately do within the next couple of weeks. Again, all of this has to be done by July 1st. The other thing we're also monitoring is there's the number of bills. I think so far there's been 25 or 30 bills that have been approved by the governor to date, which means there's another 150 plus that are out there that will be going to the governor for his approval or his review in the next couple weeks as well. So that's something we'll continue to monitor and send you all updates as those actions occur. The other thing that's happening this week is qualifying. Anybody running for state or local office needs to qualify by Friday at noon. Once qualifying is done and once we have a better idea of how all the races are shaping up, we'll make sure we're going to reach out to you and let you know what the races look like. We'll give you a snapshot of some of the more competitive races in the region and throughout the state of Florida. And so that's an elections update that we'll be getting out to you. And then we'll also be highlighting some of these more competitive races every couple of weeks to make sure that all of you are updated on that. So last thing I want to talk briefly about is our client calls. Many of you have been a part of our client calls. It's something that we wanted to do over the last couple of months is bring to you some state leaders and talk about issues that are impacting the state and obviously the Tampa Bay region. We've had some really dynamic calls with Secretary of State Laurel Lee. We've had some calls with Senate President-designate Wilton Simpson, Speaker-designate Chris Sprowls as well as Senator Kelly Stargell last week where we talked about education. So we're trying to bring relevant issues to you and talk about those and have a conversation with these key leaders and talk about not only what's happening, but more importantly, how's that going to impact the state budget and public policy moving forward. So that's something that we're going to continue. We're going to have more of these calls in the near future, so please be on the lookout for some additional calls as we get them scheduled. So as always, if there's anything that myself or the team can do for you, please reach out. But once again, thank you for joining us for this edition of Lobby Talk, and we'll see you again very soon. Thank you.